Greetings, folks. This video is a replay from a match that AngryAce, Jimijaz, and I had in Tier 5 destroyers where we are up-tiered against Tier 6 and Tier 7 ships in a domination battle on Shards. And we are going to start out with going to take C and then move south to support our team at B. The match is quite interesting in that despite the fact that we are the low tier destroyers, we end up dominating the match. And hopefully I won't spoil too much of it for you here. Obviously I wouldn't have a replay unless, we had brought some contributive value to this match. But as you'll see, we end up basically, the three of us end up controlling the match more or less almost on our own. So we'll head south here to C. We are very mindful of the number of destroyers here. There are 5 destroyers in each team. A number of them on the opposing team are gunships, including at least one Nicholas, a Minsk, a Grimiashi, and a couple of others. Now we've called out a couple of times that we want our team to focus on B and C. And the idea is to not go over to Alpha where team players from on the north side tend to get isolated and get focused out early. Part of the reason that if you spawn in the south on this map, it's generally not a good idea to go and challenge C. And we will find that at least two destroyers, including this Gata, will come to attempt to contest C from us from the south side. So I launch torps and I'm going to slow here, make sure we get the cap, and I'm spotting for both Jimijaz and AngryAce because they are clearly very good gunships in the Nicholases, and the idea is for me to keep this Gata lit up for them so that they can focus it out. I get detected, but no one is targeting me at this point. Then a Nicholas appears. So now we have 2 destroyers from the opposing team that have come to the cap. AngryAce has sent torps out to basically discourage their advance. And in no time at all, he lands a torpedo or 2 on... AngryAce lands a torpedo or 2 on the opposing Nicholas, claiming first blood and taking the cap. Now, we have successfully taken C with not too much challenge. The Gata is in retreat, and now we're going to move to B. Now, you will have noticed that I've pinged on the map a couple of times. We have 2-3 battleships on the north side of C. I've asked a couple of times now that we move to B. That's where we need the support. And the vast majority of the rest of this battle will be squabbling over Bravo. So there's a call out to finish off the second Nicholas on the opposing team. He's burning. He's mostly out of the game now. Between the Agla and the other ships that are very close, they are putting a lot of pressure on him, and the Colorado finishes off the second Nicholas on the opposing team. So the opposing team is now down 2 destroyers. The Gata is spotted again. He's taking more fire. I'm moving over to Bravo to help support our ships there. Again, I'm picking on the map here because 2 of our battleships remain in a position at Charlie that just isn't supporting the team much. Kudos to the Omaha here in front of me, who is trying to support taking the Bravo, but he is much too far out front, and much too fragile of a ship to be in such a position to try to contest the cap. He is now trying to get out of the way. There is a Murmansk here. I send torpedoes. The Murmansk obviously is anticipating fire from the opposing team. And oh, by the way, the AngryAce now has his second kill, taking out the Gata. I'm going to sit in this cap to attempt to at least prevent the opposing team from taking the cap. And Jimijaz and AngryAce have now moved out of Charlie and are coming over to Bravo to help out. We do have a very tight group of players just north of Bravo, which is very good for us to help us support taking this cap, or at least contest it. Fuso from the opposing team is moving up the west side of Bravo. I send torpedoes because he is not going to have much maneuverability options other than to either turn in or keep going in a straight line, which is basically what he's going to do. But we have a lot of opposing ships that are also helping to challenge Bravo. The Murmansk comes out. The Grimiyashi is here. As you can see on the left-hand side of my screen as I zoom out, the Minsk is here as well. So they're putting a lot of pressure on this cap as well. My torps land true on the Fuso, and I take out the Fuso. So our team has now taken, I believe, all 4 of the kills for our team at this point. I have 1, Jimijaz has 1, and AngryAce has 2. We're now putting pressure on the Grimiyashi. I need to stop firing here because I'm going to get detected. The Minsk is now moving into the cap, so I need to bail. And I believe I get targeted here pretty by quite a few ships. Fortunately, my buddy Jimijaz is right here with me. He's putting, I'm sorry, AngryAce, forgive me, is right here. He's putting pressure on the Minsk to get him out of the game, and just like that, AngryAce picks up his 3rd kill for the game. That leaves just 1 destroyer for the opposing team. It's the Grimiyashi. Again, we're still fighting over Bravo. There's a couple of opposing ships that are in the cap that are preventing us from taking it. We are in the cap to try to keep them from taking it. Incoming torps from multiple ships. So there's a lot of activity going on here in Bravo. Big hats off to my div mates for helping to keep a lot of pressure on the opposing ships here. And again, you're gonna, if you notice on the northwest side of Charlie, the rest of our battleships remain camped in and behind that island and are providing very limited support. So I send torps behind AngryAce against the New Mexico that is advancing into Bravo. I'm going to slip back into the cap here to try to keep it contested. Actually, I think I slip out here just to avoid getting detected. But we're trying to keep the pressure on. Now I've got 3 people looking at me. I'm going to try to sort of worm my way out of detection here so I don't get taken out. Torps are inbound toward the New Mexico. I land, I believe, 3 or 4 torpedoes. Maybe it's just 2. So a couple of torpedoes with flooding. If you notice the damage counter on the top right, the New Mexico is flooding out. We are still fighting over getting Bravo. I finish off the New Mexico for my 2nd kill. We have now an opposing Colorado, nearly full health, pushing into the cap. And again, our battleships, rather than being out front to help support the fight, have remained camped behind the island that is on the north and northwest side of Charlie, and have very limited ability to do any provide much support. So as the Colorado pushes in here, I've got a smoke ready so that I can smoke up if I get detected. I will use my smoke, send torpedoes on the Colorado. And let's see here. This is where the Colorado, I guess, he basically just sails in a straight line. And I'm going to land some more torpedoes. Again, we still haven't taken Bravo. I'm having to back up here just in case there are more torpedoes coming. All my torpedoes, 5 torpedoes land, no flooding, but finish off the Colorado. Now we are in a significant ship advantage. We collectively have taken out, I think, 8 of, I think almost all 8 of the ships, or maybe it's 7 of the ships at this point, between the 3 of us. Certainly in the majority. Another Colorado is now advancing into Bravo. Again, our battleships remain behind that island on the northwest side of Charlie. I'm going to come in here and perform another torpedo drop on the Colorado. Don't have smoke at this point, so I have to try to keep the island between me and the battleship. But then I realized that the Jimijaz is here again. But he's not putting any fire on me. I am not targeted, so I will put fire on the Jimijaz. Again, AngryAce is here to back me up, so hats off to him for that support to chase off the Jimijaz. And again, my torpedoes, I get 3 torpedoes, 1 with flooding on the Colorado. Again, monitor the damage counter on the top right. He's flooding out, and AngryAce is going to send more torpedoes on the Colorado, but I believe one of the other ships takes out the Colorado before his torpedoes land. Yes, our York finishes off the Colorado. And the Murmansk is finished off by Jimijaz. Actually, at this point, I know that we have 8 of the 10 kills between the 3 of us. That leaves a York that is in the northwest side of the map, and the Jimijaz, which is again milling around southeast of Bravo. So we're finally able in a position to try to take the cap. My smoke is almost up. I'm trying to get visibility on the Jimijaz so that we can try to finish him off. His torps are coming in. And in just a moment here, the Jimijaz is going to show up. The Jimijaz is very wounded, so it won't take long to put him down. We finally get the Bravo cap. And in just a moment here, the Jimijaz pops into view. In fact, there I'm detected, and there he is. Now it's just a matter of who gets the kill on the Jimijaz. And I think in this case, I think it's Jimmy that gets the kill here. And so Jimijaz has gotten his 3rd kill, and the York goes down as well, and that ends the match very abruptly. So as you can see here, 3 tier 5 destroyers in a tier 7 match. We dominate. We are at the top 3 of the leaderboard, and each of us have 3 kills. Did quite well on both the economic and XP front, partly because we were getting the plus 200% on the first win of the day, as well as running the pie camo. So I hope you found this map or this match interesting and exciting to watch. We'll catch you next time. Happy sailing out there, and see you out there.